Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Peak Growth Educational Podcast. Today we have with us Emiliano. He is the founder of a very interesting company called Knowledge Avatars. Welcome, Emiliano.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. It's
It's
a
very
pleasure
nice
being
to
here.
have you here. So, to get started, Emiliano, could you please give us a quick introduction about yourself and Knowledge Avatars?
Knowledge Avatars. I'll start with Knowledge Avatars. It's a platform that allows anybody to create their own AI, but it's more than just a chatbot. It's a digital persona, and it has a face, has a voice, but it's a digital persona that knows how to teach. So it knows how it has built-in capabilities so that it has the pedagogy built in, as well as other features that make it easy for somebody to learn from. But more importantly, it's trainable by the teacher or by a parent or also by students. Some students are using it now as to take notes so they can query the bots to ask to help them prepare for class and prepare for tests, and so it becomes a learning companion. So my goal has always been. So I've been working in the field of education for over 40 years now, and my goal has always been to personalize the educational experience because the best way to improve education is by having a smaller class size, right? So if you have a tutor, or one-on-one tutor, now you have the ability to learn and to fill those knowledge gaps that you may have, and that's really that is the thing that stops most people from learning is that the next step to learning in the learning process becomes too difficult. So, so if you know what those knowledge gaps are, what are the prerequisites that you need to fill in, that you need what concepts are you missing from your past that's stopping you from going forward? If you can fill those gaps, then you can move forward more easily, and learning becomes a lot of fun at that point. Learning can be very difficult and not so much fun when when the next step is so difficult that you don't see uh, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's how games are developed, right? So that's why games are very successful because you're always challenged, so you always have a reason to move forward, but it's never so easy that you're bored. So there's a sweet spot there in the learning process where you want to be challenged enough, and so our system makes it possible for you to learn in an incremental way.
It's very interesting. So you not only you're integrating AI, but you also use like gamification techniques.
Right. And and if you look at in education in psychology, there are different training systems, training methodologies, right? And these have been used in slot machines, for example. Slot machines they keep you motivated because they're on a schedule where they're reinforcing you not every single time, but at a kind of almost random schedule. And same thing with learning. If you're rewarded, but also challenged at a certain level, then you're more likely to want to continue learning.
So, from what I understand, the whole concept came from like educational tutoring, like school tutoring, right?
Well, the concept came from our research in cognitive science. So I started out as a cognitive scientist in the 80s. I was at McGill University, and then I became an educational psychologist as well. So I learned about education, but technology was my hobby, and so I wanted to bring the two together because I knew that would be the way to to scale a great learning system. It's hard to, especially if you want to have smaller class sizes, if you want to have great tutoring, it is very difficult to do it with people because it's very expensive. and people are also not always available. So with technology, it was possible to scale it and to make it available to democratize the educational process for more people. And I have, I still have people coming calling me from India who have been using my software for 40 years, and it's wonderful to see that people have been able to learn from it, and who knows how many thousands or millions of, or actually probably millions of students have used my educational software.
So that was before knowledge avatars, right?
That was before Knowledge Avatars. Yes. So Knowledge Avatars is a relatively new company, and we just launched our sort of our first version of some of our software last year, and we are now in the process of forming partnerships because we're a tools company, and we our goal is to provide the best educational uh, tutoring system possible, and and to make it and so we have a path of all the different things we want to add to it to the system. So what we're doing is we're working with individual partners, so partners who may want to promote our our product and use knowledge avatars in schools, for example. But there are other use cases. So for example, there's one organization called the Golden Leg Community. They're a community of women over the age of 55. And they are going to be using knowledge avatars for every woman in the organization to create their own living memoir. Since you can train our bot, and you can even, and the next version of our system will also allow you to have a bot that looks just like you, and at some point even with your own voice. So you can have a memoir of yourself, so people can talk to you whether you're alive or dead, and and it's actually easier to train a bot than to write a memoir, right? So it's true, see, because you don't have to worry about grammar, you don't have to worry about how to structure the book or how to structure a video, all that. You don't have to worry about that with AI. So you just put in the content, put in the information about your life, and now you have a bot that represents you and your life. So that's one thing we're doing with. So we have a partnership with Golden Lake Community. They will be promoting this to their community, which is at the moment is I think over 3,000 women. But we are looking for partnerships like that. For example, you could a knowledge avatar could also be used to as a car manual. I've been testing it with my car. I have a QR code on my dashboard, so anytime I need to answer a question that I can't remember something about my car, how often do I change the oil, for example? I just take a photo of the QR code, and I have a bot on my phone that tells me exactly what I need to know right away. So I don't have to go looking for it or going looking for a YouTube video someplace, which takes time, right? This is a faster, easier way to share knowledge. So our avatars are, we know of avatars as a representation of you in the game, right? But the original avatar is comes from Hinduism, right? In Hinduism, an avatar is a representation of a god on earth. So that's what an avatar essentially is. So knowledge avatar is is a representation of your mind, and that is what that was our intention when we started this project 9 years ago, and it still is our goal to allow you to have the representation of your mind, of your soul, of your thoughts.
That's very interesting. So you mentioned the memoir project. I was actually discussing this idea with one of my friends earlier, and the biggest bottleneck we identified in something like this, I believe this might be one of the biggest bottlenecks in your knowledge avatars, is how do you actually train such an avatar? Like, how do you give it enough context about a person to be able to think and speak like them?
Yeah. Well, just add. So the way you train a knowledge avatar is you add concepts. So a concept might be, it could be pretty much anything. A concept is an idea, right? The concept is an idea. So you can define a concept. So let's say that. So in the case of a living memoir, I'm training it now for my mother. I've been creating, she's 91 years old. I've been creating a knowledge avatar for her. So her favorite recipes, her favorite, when did she immigrate? She immigrated from Italy many years ago. Who came with her? So these are all different pieces of information that we put in there. Very easy, just type in the information. If it was already written, you can just cut and paste, put it into the knowledge avatar thing. Like I said, we spend a lot of money into creating this platform, and so the platform is very easy to use, and that's it. That is all it takes. So now you can go to the bot, go to my mother's bot. I ask her questions about her life, about what she likes, what she doesn't like, and it talks just and it answers with her thoughts. It's quite fascinating. I'm doing one for myself as well, and just for fun. Over the weekend, I did one of Steve Jobs. Uh, it's and because there's so much information out there in the world about Steve Jobs already, that was the easiest one to do. I did it in about 10 minutes, and now we have just for demonstration purposes only. Of course, we have a Steve Jobs memoir that you can ask it questions about asking advice such as what's the next biggest thing in technology, and it will try to answer.
And I'm sure people are wondering how complicated it is to create their own knowledge avatar. Let's say, say I want to make a memoir for someone dear to me. How difficult would be for me as a user to create that?
It takes you can get it started in about 5 minutes. And just answer a few questions. They're all different forms on the screen. You basically register your knowledge avatars, and then you go in and there's a button that says create knowledge avatars. So you click on that button and you fill out some information. What is the name of the bot? What is the purpose of the bot? And so on. And then after you paid, you have a bot. You select also the face, what it's going to look like. You select the voice. There are bots. You can talk to the bot as well. It has a voice input, voice output, and it has a face, right? Uh, and then the training part is you just add concepts. So there's another button that says add the concept, and you just add a concept to that bot, and you just do it over time. Obviously people have busy lives, so they may not have the time to do it all at once. But just as a few concepts a day, and within a month or so, you have a bot that has a lot of just a very rich um, background information.
And
I, w-
is this a process your users need to do by themselves, or does your company offer support in customizing the knowledge avatar?
at both. They can do it by themselves. We also have a bot that teaches you how to create knowledge avatars. So we call it knowledge avatars guru. So you can talk to that bot to learn how to create your own knowledge avatar. But you could also uh, pay us to help you out. So we have two support plans. One is a one-on-one plan where you just meet with us one-on-one, whether it's half an hour or an hour or whatever. And then we also have group plans. So we have monthly meetings with groups where people can brainstorm and output. The hardest part of doing anything like this is not, uh, especially with our technology, because we made it very easy. It's not the mechanics of doing it. It's not the mechanics. There's no coding. There's nothing like that. So it's a complete code free, right? The hardest part is just thinking, what would people want to know? Okay, let's say a living memoir. What would people want to know about my life? What should I put in there? You know, but it's the same question as if you were creating a memoir. Like if you're writing a book, memoir, it's the same process, right? What would I want to put in there? What would I want to add to my memoir? How do I structure it? But actually, a living memoir, the bot version, our version, is easier, like I said before, because you don't have to worry about the grammar. You don't have to worry about how structuring it and all that. That's taken care of by the AI itself. And more, and so but like I said, there are many different concepts. Living memoirs is one of them. But if you want to use the bot to coach, so let's say you're a consultant and you want to have a coach. In fact, we have a customer, Carl Dakin, that he helps people raise money for their businesses, and he has trained his own his own not living member, his own coach. He calls it Cap Coach, and it helps people raise money. So he makes that available on his website so that when he's not available, people can find that can ask him questions, and then the answers, of course, with his knowledge, so that so it's not making stuff up. It's not hallucinating content. It's creating content. It's answering from from his own knowledge. And what he does, he has a weekly newsletter as well and a weekly podcast, and he takes the transcripts of that and he uploads it to the bot. So the bot every week gets more knowledge and is trained on Carl's concepts.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I know lots of people in the e-learning space, or whatever you call it. If it's consulting, if it's maybe course selling or something like that, where information is involved, everybody's looking into adding this AI part to
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
What's very interesting to me is the fact that you mentioned your knowledge avatars do not hallucinate, which is a very big issue if you decide to do your AI chatbot through the Chat GPT API, for example. It
Yeah.
hallucinates a lot. Like I personally know somebody who is a public speaker and is also selling coaching for personal development. And she tried to make this AI chatbot of herself based on her training materials and everything, but it kept giving out wrong outputs that the AI just created out of thin air. They were never found in the training materials. So I'm curious. I'm curious. How did you fix this?
Well, we have our own AI engine, so we have several layers of AI in our system, and so we have our own proprietary engine that prioritizes the content that you've trained with. We do use OpenAI to for the bot to understand what you're asking. So it uses the inference engine to make it better bot in terms of how it understands what you're asking, but then it directs itself to the database on our servers. If there's content that is not that you're asking that is not available there, then it may go to OpenAI for a response, but it uses the prompts are very safe. In other words, we've kept it a very conservative level because you can play with that. We have an API with OpenAI, so you can play with that so that it's a safer response, and it works very well. We've had a lot of so far great success with the system.
Okay, so we have applications in learning, we have applications in coaching, we have applications in business as well. Am I right? Like you can use this knowledge avatar to make it easier to delegate tasks?
It doesn't connect to any uh, other systems at the moment. We could do that. We haven't gotten to that point yet. You think we have in terms of an agent, right? Um, but what it can do, it can help you to if you're training, if you have a training system uh, in your business. Particularly, a lot of businesses have their own systems, right? Their own, whether it's a sales process or a manufacturing process, and you want to train people on that. So that's definitely that's a very good use case for what we have. Also, if you wanted to train customers, uh, here's another application that has not been applied yet, but we're looking for partners, is a user manuals. How many products, for example, copying machines, there are so many copying machines out there, or other kinds of machines, like uh, even something as simple as a coffee machine. Instead of having to print out paper manuals, which a lot of people still do, you can have a QR code on the machine and then just point to the QR code, and your bot comes up on your phone, which everybody has, and you can ask questions about whatever how the machine is working, or if it's not working, how do I change the ink cartridge on this machine, on this printer? How do I uh, uh, why is my laundry machine not working? Help me diagnose it. Uh, yeah, how many times have you had something break down, and it kind of just happened to me not too long ago, and I spent hours and hours on not just looking for information, but even speaking to people on the phone about trying to diagnose the problem, and the final result was, well, we'll have to send somebody to your place, and I think a lot of that can be avoided just by having a well-trained bot.
So the application cases are actually much much more than just business and uh,
It's
like
not just
you
training it.
literally just told me about fixing the washing machine. So that's or how to operate the coffee machine. That's actually mind blowing. So there's
Yeah,
lots and lots of use cases for a software like yours. So my
yeah.
question is, um, right now, what's like your top two or three types of customers you are looking to serve?
So our main customers are going to be entrepreneurs who are interested in starting a business. It's essentially a turnkey business, if you think of it, because we've already spent over $1 million in developing the technology. We've spent a lot of time thinking about how to create it, and we continue to work on improving it. So it's almost like a franchise. Something can come in. Work with us on developing a plan to promote a particular business. For example, like I said, living memoirs. Uh, think of all the nursing homes, old, associations for older people, um, funeral homes. There's so many different places where we could be promoting this. We don't want to be in that business of promoting a product. We're like the let's think of it like Apple, for example. It has a computer, and we need people to develop software for it, right? And so we are in the business of following getting those evangelists who are going to promote our product, and who are going to use it in a creative way to build their business. And really there are so many opportunities out there that is mind-boggling. But we've developed a system that is very robust. It scales very well, and it was designed from ground up to be scalable to who knows how many millions of users. So that is not the challenge now, is simply to find those partners who work with us to build their businesses.
I see. I see. Um, so fast forward 1 year from now, where do you see the knowledge avatars being? How many people or companies do you hope to serve? And how do you think your offer stack will evolve?
So what was the last one? How do we think our offer stack, you said?
Yeah, like
Yeah, our offer. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I think that the way things will evolve is that we will have my goal is for every particularly in education, is for every teacher to have their own knowledge avatar, and perhaps many students, perhaps maybe every student have their own knowledge avatar. So that is one goal in the educational space. In other spaces, I'd like to see our technology being used. Again, our focus is knowledge sharing and dissemination of knowledge. So that is what our bots are all about. And it's also about empowering people to be able to share their knowledge. It's not going to some monolithic uh, general intelligence AI that's going to be the god of knowledge. That is not our goal. Our goal is to empower every individual with their own knowledge, so that that bot works for you, not that they're not going to some you monolithic AI from from one of the big companies that does everything that they think you want it to do. Because after all, it's very important to realize AI. It's true, it's very intelligent right now, and very uh, not I wouldn't say intelligent, but very interesting because it has so much knowledge, it has so much information. Uh, but it is still limited by the amount of information that people create. If people stop creating, then the AI doesn't get more intelligent until maybe sometime in the future when AI is completely sentient and independent and creates its own content, right? But if you want, uh, so if humans stop creating, then AI stops evolving as well. And so what we're doing is we're providing a tool for individuals to amplify their brain, to amplify their knowledge, and use that to monetize their content. So rather than writing a book, rather than doing a video, rather than doing a blog, create a knowledge avatar and use that bot to monetize your knowledge. That's our goal, and to empower people, of course.
That's very nice. And you mentioned that you see the knowledge avatar as improving on top of your knowledge. So it's not something that will replace thinking. It's something that
Right,
can give a better edge, right?
right. Also, I should add that because we've added some capabilities within knowledge avatars, the way we structure the knowledge and the way that the content is organized, we, it has its ability to teach better than perhaps some teachers, and better than a coach. Many life coaches, for example, they may know content, but they may not know how to teach. So by putting your content in knowledge avatars, it's also amplifying their abilities because it's adding some capabilities that you may not have, which is primarily how to present information and how to teach. And by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but our knowledge avatars also you can also upload images and videos. So when you ask it a question, when you have a conversation with it will present information that you have put up there. So it will present a video that you may have created, or it will present an image that you have created, so that to add to the conversation.
So what you're saying is that if let's say I'm a coach and I have this video course, I can just upload it to the knowledge avatar and it will have access to all the information I shared in
Yes,
the videos.
yes,
That's
it
amazing.
will. Yeah, it will have access to all the videos themselves. So it will display the videos themselves. It doesn't read the content in the videos. I'm sure that's possible. We haven't done that yet, but but it's but it's basically showing the video. So you could have video clips. So let's say you're a coach and you want to show people how to use Excel. Let's say, and let's say you're a technology coach. Uh, then you can have a little video on how Excel works, and the bot will display that to the user.
So yeah, yeah, that's amazing. So instead of replying just with text, it can also reply with video content
And images, yes, exactly.
and images.
Yeah,
That's
and those
something
and
doesn't do.
yeah, yeah, and those images can be on and those images and videos can be uploaded to our servers, or they can be linked to the videos can be linked from to Vimeo or YouTube. So that yeah, since YouTube and Vimeo have become the kind of depository of all videos now, right? So you can easily just use something from there if it makes sense to do that. Yeah.
See.
Yeah, so our applications are, as you can see, they're very wide, uh, and, uh, uh, and so we're also adding capabilities to make it more interesting. Like right now, are you familiar with Ready Player Me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen.
yeah. So Ready Player Me is an avatar technology, right? Where you can create an avatar that looks like you, and that has that moves, that has a 3D feature. So we're moving all of our avatars to Ready Player Me. So the beauty of that is that now you can have an avatar that looks like you. Then you can use that in Knowledge Avatars. You can also use it in the game, and you can also use it in VR. So you can take the same image and use that. It's the same 3D character and use that in all of these systems. Yeah, Ready Player Me just received over $70 million in investment. So they become the de facto way of sharing characters.
Amazing. So not only you will have access to the knowledge, but you will also be able to, in the future, to customize how it looks.
Yeah, yeah, and that's coming up within a few weeks. So we will have that capability. And at some point, we're also going to be able to customize the voice so that the voice is your voice. And again, this is not, some people uh, confuse AI systems that produce videos with true interactive AI. Those are two different things. Yeah, you can use AI to create a video that has your voice and that is very photorealistic. It looks like a human being, but that's not a true interactive AI that you can have a conversation with. So what we have is a brain. Essentially, you're training a brain that can have a true conversation with you, and that is a main difference. And other use cases, we have an AI that we did as a demo that is a librarian that will recommend books. It's actually fantastic. And say I like this style of book. I like to or recommend a book that was published in 2025 that is similar to Frankenstein, let's say, and it will do it. Beautiful. We have a bot that will pair wine and food and say, well, which one would you recommend for this recipe? We have a bot that will recommend recipes based on food that you have in your fridge. You say, well, I have eggs and broccoli. What can I make with that? You know, and so it's a much more interesting way of interacting with the bot. And we're also doing some projects right now with some like schools. There's a Bridgeport, Connecticut. There's a school actually. It's a nonprofit called Bridgeport Youth Lacrosse. They provide after-school programs for schools and libraries. And right now, the kids are developing an escape room game in VR, and they're so each kid has their own room, and they are training their bot to to help the game player figure out the puzzle of the game. So they have to train the bot. So they have to learn something interesting. They have to learn something. The students have to learn, and then train the bot on the puzzle. And what's going to happen is that when the game player is in the room, they'll be able to speak to a knowledge avatar and to come up with the puzzle, come up what is the solution to the puzzle. The puzzle won't just give them the answer; they'll give them clues and give them hints on uh, how to leave this escape room. So it's become a very interesting way of learning and a much more creative way of using AI than just going in and getting an answer or just going in and asking the bot to write your essay, right? So, so that's our
Um,
goal.
I've been amazed by how many use cases you can find for this. Like, this is not just education, like you said, it's not just asking something and getting an answer, but yeah, the number of use cases, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So
how
we have a
far?
bot for, yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, please go ahead.
No, I was going to say that another one is that we have a bot that teaches chess. We also have a bot that teaches that helps restaurateurs with their business. So you can ask questions like, "Give me an idea for a promotion in at Christmas that other people have not done," or this is I have a restaurant that I have a Mexican restaurant. Recommend some good recipes that I could use in this promotion, and you can have a conversation with it on those kinds of topics.
Okay. That's so you already have those bots created.
Yeah, and of course, some you can they can be customized. So if you are a restaurant consultant, you can customize it with your knowledge, and now you can just go in there and put it behind a paywall, and so your customers can go in and say and ask you questions. So if you have a specific knowledge, uh, obviously some knowledge of this knowledge is already available on OpenAI, so that's not unique. But if you train it with your own knowledge, now you have something that you can sell to people. Say, listen, this is my bot. You can talk to my bot, and when I'm not available, or you can charge a monthly fee for that. You can have an advertising model. You can have advertisements on your blog or website, and your bots on your. Yeah, okay. Our bots can be easily embedded with an iframe, so you can just put it on your blog uh, or with the URL. You can access it via a browser or via a cell phone. Just it's a very easy access.
I see. So if anyone is interested to either work with one of your bots or learn more about knowledge avatars in general, how can they get in touch with your company?
Yeah, so knowledge is the website is knowledgeavatars.ai. And there's a contact form there. They can just use the contact form. I'm sure I will see it, and we can start the conversation there. There are demos on our bot. Registration is free, so people can just register for free. That they can choose to be on our newsletter. We have a newsletter that goes out every so often. We've also started a podcast to talk about use cases. So as use cases come along, we are adding more to that podcast as well, just to give people ideas of how to build products with knowledge avatars and how to build their businesses through knowledge avatars.
Amazing insights. So for everyone watching, I will post a link to the Knowledge Avatars website in the description of this video. So if this sounds interesting for you and you want to try it out for yourself or learn more about how it works, you can head out to their website and fill in the contact form and join the conversation. And yeah, Emiliano,
Okay.
I'm amazed by what you're building. I think the number of use cases is way higher than I initially expected when we hopped on this conversation. So I want to thank you for taking the time to join here, and I'm looking forward to see where you can take this company. It
Yeah, thank you, Gabriel. My pleasure. Thank you for having me on your show.
was great. My pleasure. See ya.